Hi everyone, it's Cass. Welcome back to my channel, whatcassread. Today is going to be like in the planner related category, but it's also just like a general interest video that's related to my planners, related to my journals, but also something a little bit different. And this is my fountain pen collection. I have had quite the journey with fountain pens, and now it has morphed into this. And I began seriously collecting fountain pens a couple of years ago. I've got quite a number of inks, and I'm currently happy with my collection, but there's always something that just kind of catches my eye. So if you're interested in learning more about my fountain pen collection, stay tuned. Okay, so I have a couple of different categories of my fountain pens, and which is why I have so many different fountain pen holders. So they're not all full, but they all have a purpose, and we'll just kind of set this off to the side. This is the one that I like to keep with me on a daily basis. This current fountain pen, I guess it's a 5-pen holder with a clasp closure. This is from Excludes Leather, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I love this molded cover. I mean, if you have been looking at my Chic Sparrow collection, I mentioned in there that I just love leather goods, and this is no exception. This is just so high quality. I absolutely love it. I can link to it down below. But this particular holder is what I take with me every single day because this is what I use for my currently inked pens. I like to keep a manageable amount of currently inked pens, so I'm not overdoing it. You know, like if I had 20 currently inked pens, there's no way that I'd be able to enjoy the experience of writing with each individual pen and the ink that I put it in, and then, you know, have thoughts on that specific combo. So this one that I currently have, quite a beloved fountain pen. So this is one of my gold nibbed pens. This is the Pilot Vanishing Point in matte black, and I have it with a medium nib. I currently have it inked up with Pilot Iroshizuku Konpeki. This is just a combination that I can't quit because this particular pen is such a great writer. And Pilot Iroshizuku inks are my hands down favorite inks. They're so reliable. And this blue is stunning. Like, it's appropriate for work, even if I didn't work in this situation that I work in, where I'm allowed to play with fun inks, because you'll see my summer inks are all bright and fun. But this particular combination is one that I cannot quit. So that's a favorite, currently inked. It'll be hard for me to un-ink that pen. This is my latest fountain pen purchase, and it has been so fun. This is also my favorite fountain pen brand. So you're going to see a ton of TWSBIs. Once I discovered that TWSBI and I were just meant to be, then I became a collector of like all kinds of different colors. So I didn't have this kind of bright color in my collection. This is the TWSBI Eco Tea. The color is saffron, and I currently have this inked up with Rohrer and Klingner's Helianthus. So that's just a really awesome yellow. And I use this for like work notes. So that's why it's not like a journaling pen. Okay, so Rohrer and K. And this is in a fine nib. Okay, so that's that particular one. I go back and forth between fine and medium a lot. TWSBI and I have just such a good relationship. So this is another dreamy combo for me. This is the TWSBI Eco Rose Gold Smoke. And I have this inked up with Pilot Iroshizuku Fuyu Syogun. Old Man Winter, I think, is what the English translation is. This was an ink that was just like love at first sight. This was actually my very first fountain pen ink bottle that I got. I don't know what drew me to this gray, but man, I'm really glad that I have it. And this is a fine nib. And here's a fun one. I really wanted a pink ink for the summertime. So this is the TWSBI Eco Pastel Pink. I actually ordered this from Cult Pens, specifically in the UK, because it's just not available in the United States. So this is how far the TWSBI collection has brought me. And I currently have this inked up with Pilot Iroshizuku Kosumosu. And this pastel pink TWSBI is also in a fine nib. I have more than just Pilot Iroshizuku. I just want to say that. But this summer just seems to be the summer of Pilot Iroshizuku because they're all my bright colors. All right. And then this last pen that I have currently inked, beautiful combo. So this is the Kaweco Sport Classic White Edition, and I did get the gold clip to go with it. And I have this currently inked up with Pilot Iroshizuku Chiku Rin, which is a fun green. And this is in a medium nib. I have discovered that I prefer medium nibs in my Kawecos. For me, their medium nibs are a little bit more smooth and not as scratchy as their fine nibs, but I do have some fine nibs. So yeah, this was just like a fun palette that I wanted to put together for the summertime. I've had it inked up with these particular colors now for over a month, and I just haven't wanted to change. If I was going to change one of those colors, it would probably be Chiku Rin. I would put something else in, but like I'm having a moment with Helianthus right now, and I've just been having a lot of fun with that. Okay. So you can just see those writing samples. Okay. Now the rest of the video shouldn't be as long because now we'll just go over the different pens that I have. So this is a Pilot pen roll produced by Pilot. Okay, so this pen roll is where I keep all of my Kawecos. So aside from my white one that I have currently inked, these are the rest of them. So this is the Pilot, or not Pilot. Did I say Pilot Kawecos? These are my Kaweco collection. They're not by Pilot. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is the Kaweco collection limited edition iridescent pearl. And I put the silver clip on it. This is in a fine nib. This was my very, very, very first Kaweco. And this was a fun writer. My favorite ink to put in this is the Sailor Manyo Haha. This next one that I have is another fine nib. This is the Kaweco Skyline Sport in mint. This one was a Kaweco collection. I forget the color, like the official color name, but I really enjoy purple pens. So you're going to see a lot of purple pens throughout my whole collection. So this was like a purple that I just had to have, and I paired it with the silver clip. I think this one's also in fine nib. Yes, this is a fine nib. And those are the only three fine Kawecos that I have then, because these two for sure are mediums. This is my latest Kaweco collection purchase. This is in the olive green. How beautiful is that? With a gold pen clip. And then this is in the medium nib. And then I have this Kaweco collection AL Sport. And this was like the vibrant purple. I lusted after this one for a long time because this is, since it's an aluminum pen, it's significantly more expensive than the other two. But because it was purple, I really wanted to have it, and I wanted to try out an aluminum Kaweco to see if I enjoyed, the heavier weight. And it's been pretty fun to write with. You would think that I would pair this one with like purple inks and stuff, but I actually really enjoy pairing like teals and blues with that particular one. That one's fun. And that one's in a medium nib as well. Okay, this was my first pen case. This is the Galen Leather 10 pen case zip folio in the, is this a Crazy Horse green Or is it just green? I don't remember the actual color name of this one. But this is where I store my gold nibbed pens. So aside from the Pilot Vanishing Point in matte black, I only have 2 other gold nibbed pens. So this is the Pilot Decimo. And this is like the rose gold champagne. This is in a fine nib. Isn't she stunning? If I were to get another one of these, I would actually get another Vanishing Point. I just ended up liking the weight of the Vanishing Point. I feel like I'm always going to break this pen. It's a little bit more flexible than I'm accustomed to. And I think that's one of the properties of gold nibbed pens. And then on this side is the only other gold nib pen that I have. This is a Sailor Pro Gear Slim. And I got this from Amazon Japan. And this is their extra fine nib, or no, not extra fine, medium fine nib. That's the only nib size I think that the Sailor Pro Gear Slim even comes in. This was enjoyable. I think this is like Snow Moon Sky is what the color is. I would really like more Sailor pens, but the price is just something that I struggle with all the time. I put a brown ink in this pen, and that was a really gorgeous combo. Uh-oh, I think we've got landscapers coming in just when I get to the largest part of my collection. Okay, so this is a Girologio pen case. I got this from Goulet Pens. And I got it with the plaid on the inside. So this is where most of the fun stuff is. This side, clearly, TWSBI Land. And then this side, clearly, Lamy Land. The Lamy Safari, actually, it was this one. Let's just start with the Lamies then. The Lamy Safari in this yellow, does anyone remember way back in the day in the planner community, everybody was in Filofax personal rings and everybody had a yellow Lamy Safari. That was my very first introduction to fountain pens. This is in the medium nib, and I have a very love-hate relationship with this particular pen. I wouldn't recommend it as a beginner pen, to be honest, especially for lefties, because the way that the grip on the Lamy is, I mean, this is how I normally hold a pen anyway, like the way that they have the design of the pen. But for some reason, and I was too new to fountain pens to really understand why this was happening to me, but I could never get it to write the way that I wanted it to. It was extremely scratchy. I had a hot pink one that I got rid of. I had neon green. Actually, I still have it somewhere in my house, but I don't have a nib on it and I don't know where it is. So I had such a tumultuous time the very first go around with this Lamy Safari that I stopped writing with fountain pens for like 4 years. This was, I think, really the only one that survived that purge, because this yellow is like not one of the colors that they carry typically. Maybe it is now, but so when I came back to fountain pens, I'll actually show you the pen that did it. It was this one. When I decided to give fountain pens another try, I went with the TWSBI Eco, and this is a fine nib, and this is the jade color. This was the birthday gift that I gave to myself along with that Pilot Iroshizuku Fuyu Syogun ink, and that was a dreamy combo. They worked so beautifully together. And this is where I was beginning to understand the difference between a wet writer, a wet ink, a dry writer, a dry ink. And I think the introductory combo of a Lamy Safari with their Lamy cartridges, because that's all I had, that's all I was willing to spend the money on, I didn't fully understand that that ink was a dry ink, and it wasn't working for the way that I positioned the pen. So once I discovered that, then my relationship with Lamy, I've repaired that relationship, as you can see, and I've collected a few more. So this is the Lamy All-Star, and this is a Super Celestial, I don't remember the name. This is in a fine nib. I thought that one was a fun one because at the same time that I was writing with that one, this was my dream Lamy that repaired my Lamy relationship. This is the Lamy LX in rose gold, and this is in a medium nib. And this Lamy single-handedly repaired my relationship with Lamy, so then I wanted to try out a fine nib. This one's a cool one. So I discovered that I really enjoy clear pens. And this is the Goulet Pens special edition of the Lamy Vista. And what makes this like the special edition, because the Lamy Vista is basically just a clear Lamy Safari, but it came with the converter, and most Lamy converters have a red twist on the bottom. This has the black, and then it also has the black clip and the black nib. And I thought that was just like a really cool looking clear pen. So that one I got from Goulet Pens. And then I just wanted more color Lamys, and I got, these are like matte Lamy Safaris special editions. A couple years old now. I don't quite remember the color names. So here's another purple pen. This one was one that I had to get because my favorite sports team is the Minnesota Vikings. This is like true Minnesota Vikings purple. So, oh, I'm not in the center of the screen. And then these are all, oopsies. I think these are all in fine nib. Yeah, that one's a fine nib. This one's a fine nib. Since I got into these cool special edition Lamys, I'm so sad I missed out on it. I think I could still get that like terracotta one with the black clip, but I really wanted that safari green one with the black clip. Missed out on it entirely, but that's all right. This one, I remember the color name. This one is Mango, and actually I do have this one currently inked. Let's grab my notebook. Is in Noodler's Southwest Sunset. I haven't cleaned this out. Uh-oh. Maybe I did clean it out. No, it's still in there. Oh, Lamy. Hasn't been inked up very long. Yeah, still in there. Oh, Lamy. If you know Lamys, you know, right? Here we go. Okay. As you can see, I still have a love-hate relationship with the Lamy, but it's a fun pen to take to work. Okay, so that is the last of my Lamy collection, and then this one, we'll go to this one next. This is the only other Pilot pen that I have. This is a Pilot Prera. I have this in a medium nib. I wanted to test this one out because I was trying to fight buying a Sailor. And I was like, can you like dupe the look of a Sailor with a Pilot Prera? And yes, you can dupe the look, but this is not one of my favorite pens to write with. I also probably haven't found the right ink combination, and I also don't enjoy the converter in this one. So that's my only Pilot Prera. And now we have come to my TWSBIs. So this one is the only TWSBI mini that I have, TWSBI Diamond Mini, and I think this one's like, I don't think it's the clear one. No, it is the clear one. And I got this in a 1.1 stub nib. This is the only 1.1 stub nib that I own. Because I wanted to try it. Basically, whenever I want to try a new nib, I get it in a TWSBI to see if I'll like it, because that's my favorite pen. And I wanted the mini size because he was fun. So I have fun with this one from time to time. Don't use it super frequently. Yes, but I'm glad that I went for that one. Then the only other TWSBI Diamond that I own, this one, wow. When this came out, this was the only one that I was like, okay, well, you have to have this one. Just purely based off of this iridescent oil slick. So I bought this purely because of how it looked, and I have never regretted it. And this is in a medium nib. There we go. This nib was fun. I like putting like teals and blues in this one too. Like this one's just like a eye catcher. I love it. TWSBI Diamond 580. There we go. That's what it is. Then here we have the sister to the Smoke Rose Gold. I do have the White Rose Gold TWSBI Eco. This one's in a fine nib as well. This has the rose gold plated nib. And then all the rest are either just like TWSBI Ecos or TWSBI Eco Tees. I think there's only one other TWSBI Eco Tee, TBH. This is my white TWSBI Eco. Got it in the extra fine. This is the only extra fine nib that I have because I wanted to test it out. TWSBI Eco Clear, because I just discovered that I love clear pens. And this one is also in a fine nib. This particular TWSBI, I have to be careful like with what I put in it. I need to put wet inks in that one because that particular nib is kind of scratchy. Then I already showed you my birthday pen from a couple years ago, my Jade Eco. TWSBI Eco T in mint. And this one, this is a medium nib. I wasn't in the market for another blue pen because I liked the mint colors, but this cerulean, I mean, she caught my eye. So I got it. And I got this in the fine nib. I would say fine nibs for Ecos are my favorite nib size. This one is the translucent purple. And I got this in the broad. This is the only broad nib that I have. So once again, wanted to test out a different nib size in my favorite pen. And this has been fun. I've had to put certain inks in this one because there was like an ink that I just couldn't get to work with me, like in terms of like its color properties. And I discovered that all it needed was a broad nib. And then my very, very final fountain pen in my collection. This is the TWSBI. Oh my God. We're almost there. So sorry about the lawnmower. The TWSBI Eco Lilac. And this is a medium nib. This medium nib has been kind of finicky on me. So once again, I have to kind of make sure I put the right ink in it. All right, just in time, made it for the lawn work to begin. Thank you so much for joining me. If you liked this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up and then put, the pen emoji down in the comment section below. Let me know, what are your thoughts on this fountain pen collection? Not the biggest that you've ever seen, definitely not the most diverse, but I know what I like, and I like TWSBI Ecos. Follow me on my social media if you want. I'm on Twitter and Instagram. It's at whatcassread, the same as this channel, so it should be super easy for you to find. Still a book channel, still a planner channel, and then apparently I put some fountain pens in the mix. Other than that, you know how these videos end. I'll talk to you later. Bye.